Welcome back to the second quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with Andrew Guitros, the sidekick here. And
Good morning.
Let's get a couple of more pictures here.
We can do that. Let's show this one right here. This is the American Legion Post 45 did their Outstanding Citizens Award. I know you had won Citizen of the Year there a couple of years ago. And this year, Citizen Year is Miss Pat Mason-Gilry, who you see over to the right. We've got Captain Corey Fisher, the Firefighter of the Year there. Nick Vidrine, the Fire District 3. I'll get it right. Ken Thibodeau's there, who is the chairman of the group that gives out the awards. You got Captain Corey Fisher, who's the Firefighter of the Year, Nick Vidrine, Fire District 3 Chief. You got Ryan Fontenot presenting the Educator of the Year award. Pat Mason-Gilry was Citizen of the Year, and the educator who's not in the picture is Stephen Wren from Opelousas Catholic. And the Police Officer of the Year was our good friend, Deputy Glenn Higgins with the Sheriff's Department. So congratulations to the whole crew. And I want to thank the American Legion for always.
I appreciated them giving me an award. I really did.
That's it, you know, and those guys done so much for our community as well.
I think.
It must have been last year.
Last week we showed the picture that you're seeing right now, and I couldn't think of the names. And Nicole Vidrine and her husband is Jacob. And Jacob was once a quarter horse jockey from Lafayette and now from Erath. And the other young lady is Monique Dupre. And Holden is the young son. I couldn't think of the names last week. And Monique's uncle is Lester Dupre, that's her husband from Plaisance.
Okay.
Floyd Dupre is his parent. And they now live in Erath.
All right.
And they knew Miss Helen Boudreau. You remember Miss Helen would come here to Toby's Little Lodge at noon, primarily at noon, and on Saturdays to have lunch. And she always brought 2 or 3 other ladies with her. And well known, sweetest lady. So Jean and others, Jimmy and
Jean Paillet.
Yeah, Jean Paillet and Quincy Richard and Jimmy Livier and all the staff over the whole crew, they all loved Mrs. Boudreau, and she has passed away. So anyhow, girls, I'm sorry I couldn't get the names last week. We got them straight now.
You want to show some more photos? How about this one?
That is a picture of that was taken last Thursday night. Harold Taylor held a fundraiser for State Representative Stephen Ortigo.
Young man from Karen Crow.
Karen Crow area, and is
handles the southern part of St. Leonard Parish.
That's correct, and handles
up to your home.
Up to my home there.
That's where they drew the line. You're the top of the line.
The leg goes a little bit further, but not much. I'm right on the edge. But anyhow, it was a very nice turnout. Cold, as you can see from the picture that's on TV right now. They've got a heater blowing. Harold Taylor has built a beautiful place. I'm not going to try to describe it. You need to go over there
out at 3 Mile
and visit if you're a friend of his. And the couple here worked for him kind of year-round. They all grew up together in Palmetto, where Harold was the mayor for a number of years.
Right.
And the young man on the left is Malu, and that's his nickname, but that's what he's known by. His real name is Morris Willis. And the young lady is Deborah Woods, and she says, soon to be Willis. I said, whoa. I said, Malu, you marrying up. He liked that. And nice. I see why Harold has them around his place all the time. Very sweet, good people.
Don't forget, if you're a member of 3 Mile, your dues are due. And we're going to be changing those locks on the...
around the 15th.
On the 15th. So you want to get your dues in, your $100 dues, mail in your $100 due. We've got about 3/4 of the people have already paid. So you want to hurry up and send it in. You don't want to get there one day and your key don't fit.
Good. That's right. Then you're going to start kind of maybe getting complaining.
Irate.
Irate.
All right. How about this picture? You got a picture of...
That was Sunday. I went to my camp at the Point. Had not done that in several months, but attended Mass Sunday. Nice turnout there. And that is a statue and a little, what you call that?
A flower bed, huh?
Flower bed, something honoring Mr. Gary Begnaud, who played such a role in keeping up the maintenance on that little church. And the last flood we had, I'd shown you some pictures. He was,
When he was
working
in there working on
by
those pews,
himself,
working on those
by
pews.
himself,
Oh, yeah.
and redoing all the pews. What a man, beautiful man. Miss Barbara, you had certainly picked the right person to be your husband, and the family, y'all can be proud of Mr. Gary, and I know we are. And a little sunset there, a little
Boy, it's
too bright.
huh?
And this is a beautiful picture here. This is the kind you can sell, and taken right there in front of my front porch. And Miss Vicki Frederick, my partner over at Integrity Supply in Abbeville, Louisiana, where she hails. Good morning to her mother, Miss Mabel.
And there's the sun going
and
down.
Mr. Jimmy Como there. And that's a front there. You could sell that picture, the one, back it up, look at that, if that's not pretty. So I said, Jolie, that might have been taken by Vicki and sent to me. No, I have those. We didn't take those off. Okay, this is a brand new friend. They stopped and picked me up. I was on my back porch kind of doing some cleaning up, but when these two men asked me to go for a ride, I was not going to pass it up. I just met John Egle, E-G-L-E, Egle. He pronounces Egle. Okay. Everybody knows John. First time I had met him was Friday night, and this is Saturday afternoon, and the young man sitting down relaxing with the cold one in his hand is Mike Keys, and he knows a lot of people in the oil industry also. John recently sold the business, and he's an investor in oil field companies, and built a beautiful camp next door to our friends Ted Bellard and Melanie, and their partner in it is Arlene, Ted's sister, and Don Fisher. And that's how I met John and Mike over at Friday night gathering that takes place about every Friday night, and that's at Vicki, Frederick, and Jimmy's place. And everybody passed a good time. This is kind of where we ended up going in that ride that I just showed you on the boat, and that's Tac Tequina, and he and Ann live in a beautiful home. They live on the point right near where our condos are, and of course that's a better picture of our new friend Mike Keys, and he and Tac. Mike's daddy used to call on Tac at a place years ago that Tac was working for. Now Tac has his own business. And here's our own Arneville hero here, Mr. Huey Olivier on the left, who sold his beautiful, we ought to fuss at you, Huey, for selling your big home, but I can understand things change, and maybe you have some other ideas, but I know you're going to be on the water, because next to you in the center of this picture is Mr. Johnny Martin with Martin Chevrolet in Bro Bridge. What they call them, the Basin King of the Basin. Of the Basin, I think, is their advertising.
With the mud on them.
And then Jimmy is next to him, and that's Jimmy Guitros, and of course he sells a competitive product to Mr. Jimmy, but they're close friends. He sells Fords at Hub City Ford.
There you go.
And I told him the day I reminded him of the time I met him, and he said, when was that? I said, y'all were having a little meeting, y'all were real happy. Ford had decided to go and start making their own diesel engines. And y'all were very excited. Well, it's not that many years ago.
Really?
No, they were using someone else's diesel engine. And now they can give better service, he says. And another picture of Mike. And that is the Silverado. Well, you know Silverado and Chevrolet, that goes hand in hand. And so that's Mr. Johnny Martin's fishing boat. And those four fellas fish together. And here we are Sunday morning after Mass. Jimmy says, you know, we need to try to get that pontoon boat of yours running. He says it'll idle in the stall, but it's not taking pressure. But we went out and put it in the bay, and within maybe 15 minutes, we had it running top speed. And
Clean that carburetor
Cleaned
out.
the carburetor out. And thank you, Jimmy, for all your help.
And some crispy, crunchy fried chicken right there.
That's correct, and I was inside the beautiful camp of John Egley, and his wife wasn't there, by the way. She was with a little daughter preparing a wedding, big wedding this weekend. John won't be at the point, but the Crispy Crunchy reminds me that I was one of the very first franchisees for Crispy Crunchy, and I had got that with Mr. Jim, who was the Chevron dealer out of Jonesville, Louisiana.
Right.
And Mr. Jim Thornton. Boy,
Correct. That's the name.
Going back.
You got it.
My old computer's working.
First guy that paid the
That's
pump.
right. And Neil Onabane came in about that same time, and of course, Mr. Jim died, and I don't know if
Neil's still
Neil had
involved in
taken.
them.
Oh no! Oh,
Still
Neil is
involved?
big
Oh, yeah.
time involved. No, don't you remember? I took a picture of one of his franchisees in Missouri.
That's true.
Wasn't it
That's right.
Missouri
I think
was
so.
in?
I think so.
Coming back from Omaha last year. So anyhow,
And don't
Neil,
forget-
good morning to you. And he's from Church Point, Louisiana, and he sold his camp at the point we won't get to visit.
If you want some crispy
As
crunchy,
much.
if you want some crispy crunchy here locally, don't forget about the Quarters Casino and Travel Plaza right here north of Opelousas. They can help you with crispy crunchy fried chicken 7 days a week. They've also got a Subway in there for your Subway sandwiches. They've got Stuckey's, candies, and snacks in there as well. A huge convenience store. Great Chevron fuel and diesel and gasoline. Nice canopy to keep you dry. Good concrete to keep your feet dry. They've got the El Pico de Gallo Mexican Cantina inside as well, and don't forget about them for gaming. There's the Quarters Casino and Travel Plaza north of Opelousas.
Okay, we only have about 10 seconds, so we don't have enough time.
Oh no, we got 2 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the seconds.
How about some more photos? Let's go
Yeah,
there.
well, let's get another one.
There we are.
And this is Butch and Karis Nolan, and this picture was taken Saturday evening, and this is at the Point, and they live at the Point, as I take it, or have a nice camp there, if not home.
Right.
But very nice couple. And then up came a friend of theirs and mine, and that is Mr. David Bell, Bell Sporting Goods. I said, David,
Really?
y'all are running some real nice ads on TV lately. He says, well, we got to let everybody know we're still there after how many years?
And things are looking up. You know, they're one of those big original franchisees with UL and the Cajuns, so they got to be happy right now with UL doing so well, selling a lot of ball caps and shirts, you know.
Hey, I hadn't
yeah,
thought about
that's right.
that. But David used to come and attend our squirrel hunts when we had them extravaganza.
Right.
And of course, David and John know each other real well, and that's John again.
Water out at the Point.
Yep, and that's sunrise right here.
you
This
go.
is sunrise. And talking about the Orneville area, we talked about Huey Olivier. Well, this is Jack Stelly from Orneville and his wife, Miss Barbara. That was walking out of the little Catholic church that we spoke about a few minutes ago. Jack opened his own engineering business, land surveying and all, years ago, has been very successful. And, well, needless to say, he loves the Point, and he's a fisherman. And this was just before I left to come home Sunday afternoon. Robert Credab, Jenny Credab's brother, that's his claim to fame. Jenny is his sister. And his 2 kids were fishing on my pier. And
She's training. She's got some.
she's got something, I'll tell you. And that's the right time to catch them.
Well,
now
we're going to take a
break.
1-minute break. It's halftime, folks. We'll see you on the other side of one.